Hello and welcome back to my 5-year plan playthrough of RP-1 with a rather late start tonight. Um, so what we've got next on the deck is just lunar orbital capsules. Um, we do need to, that's right, we do need to start thinking about the fact that quite soon, within, when is this going to be the case? So that's August. So probably by the end of September or thereabouts, we'll be taking lunar, crewed lunar, which means that we really need to be building a launch complex. And so now that Lamont has added land doglegs to PVG, thank goodness, I'm much happier about an EOR architecture.
Okay.
Um,
Well, certainly let's get away with the super proton sized vehicle that you were building before.
yeah. Yeah, the thing I'm less sure about is what I'm going to need for to do an actual landing. So let's see what kind of lander we can make. Because I think I want to use the Soviet approach of use a crasher stage to perform LOI and then most of the descent burn.
What is a crasher stage specifically?
Crasher stage is basically a stage you use to start your landing burn that then you decouple near the end of it and it crashes into the ground and then you have a few hundred. So like for example
Like your lunar landers.
yeah, my lunar landers use a crasher stage and then a terminal landing stage, which was a very typical lunar landing architecture. It's basically the way you have to, kind of the way you need to do a direct ascent architecture, which everybody was looking at originally.
Okay.
So like the original Apollo studies were all like for a lunar landing extension. It's worth pointing out that the reason why the service module engine on Apollo was as powerful as it was because that was designed to be a lunar ascent engine, and it's no coincidence that a CSM alone has 2.8 kmsec of delta V, which is exactly what you need to do lunar ascent and trans-Earth injection. So that architecture was the CSM was the ascent stage, and then you'd have a terminal landing stage that had, the landing legs and the way to get down to the lunar surface and some throttleable engines. And then below that, you'd have a crasher stage, which would perform lunar orbit insertion. Or if you were just doing a direct landing, just direct, and then it would do like, 80-90% of the delta V involved in the lunar landing.
Okay.
So, at any rate, we oh, I can't preview the next tech level of the generic thrusters, can I? So let's look at what we've got. Why doesn't that have a texture? That's weird. Is this thing throttleable? Yeah, it is. All right, it's deeply throttleable. Interesting. But
Would it
I,
not, not
sorry?
sorry, I was going to say, would it not be wiser if you think you have spare money to start building a launch complex, which is the point of building this rocket, then that spare money to go to researchers instead? Because really, what you want to do is start crude lunar as soon as you can, rather than start preparing for crude lunar while you haven't taken the program yet.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Not that I don't want to watch you build a lunar landing rocket. Sorry.
Yeah, but you're correct. Um, need some kind of ascent engine, though. Which I believe on the LK, I guess the RD 858 was both terminal landing and ascent. Yeah, I'm not. I knew about it at one point, but it's been a while.
Ready, Google it.
It doesn't actually matter. For me, what this means is that I need some other ascent engine. So anyway, so yeah, I guess we can leave this to the side for now. And
You do have a
onward.
good.
Sorry?
You do have a good point that you don't really have anything good, even once, especially once you dump crude orbit to take crude lunar. You don't have any good programs to generate repeatable contracts for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, giving up crude orbit gives up kind of my last way of getting repeatables. Like GEO may give me GEO ComSats, but it only runs for a year. 2 years or whatever. Screwed that up. I guess it should be like 12 or 16 wide. Hard to tell. And I don't have KOI installed, so I can't even check. That's annoying. You want to make a note that the right border of the program's area in the admin building, the border is too small compared to the one above. Thank you. Yeah, this would just be 2 years. Not that I could afford to take it on fast, but I mean, I guess I could finally take X-planes.
You could do that.
And like, yeah. That's
You
quite
could
a...
do. You could build something to do lunar sample return or start Mars landings, I guess.
Yeah, but the Mars landings, those are required.
Yes.
And
yeah.
It's like
Yes,
it's 2 years. It's 2 years a shot.
Yep.
Well, 3 probably. But I mean, it's at best 2 years. Oh, son of a gun! Did I genuinely not launch? I did it again.
Did you not take the contract?
Nope. I was thinking of writing a dialogue where when you click launch, it first brings up a dialogue saying, "Hey, are there any contracts you want to accept?" and lists all the contracts to avoid that specific problem.
That'd be funny. Somebody was mentioning that idea of having contracts deliberately assigned to a rocket rather than detected assigned to a rocket.
Yeah, so it's Ryan had a PR to contract configurator which we merged to sort of support that. It's just it had some unintended consequences, if memory serves. All right, well, we now have enough confidence, so that's good. Um, our balance is back to positive, which is good because it's going to get worse before it gets better. So yeah, I think the short answer is we'll just warp to this and start building a Soyuz. And I definitely had the... Oh, that's why I was in the other order, because I was going to do EVA and Voskhod, and then I didn't. Look at us getting more science. All right. Now, what did that do to our budget? Our budget is now an additional $3 million a month. That's nice. I feel a little cheap calling this union, but
Why is that?
well, because it's literally Soyuz.
Oh, is that what Soyuz means?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I don't speak Russian.
Oh, sorry. Uh, sorry. Yes, I occasionally forget that I know all such random things. Yeah, no. That's why this is the Cyrillic, because it's SSSR.
Yeah, fair enough. But again, I bet even just knowing the first letter as an S wouldn't have clued me in.
Yeah, my memory is that I forget which one is. I believe Vostok is east. It was originally going to be Zarya, which is dawn, I think. Vostok went east. Yeah, yeah, I remember that right. Which was why I called it eastward.
Okay. Also, SSSR does none of that is Soyuz. None of the S's.
Really?
Yeah, it stands for Svaz Sovietsky Socialistsky Republik.
Huh.
I think Svaz means all, like, I don't know Russian, but I know Croatian. It has some similar words, and the rest of it is kind of easy just to figure out in context anyway. So, all Soviet Socialist Republic.
Interesting.
Svaz means.
Huh. Okay. Learn something every day.
No, Svaz is Union. like Soyuz is.
All right, so guess I'll just go ahead and fire this up. First, everybody goes here. We can fit another 300 engineers here, which we're definitely going to want to do, because then it will only take 3/4 as long, which is relevant. Because a 54-day integration time is much better than a 72-day one. And we'll certainly need the engineers later anyway, so. Did I actually tool things? No, I need to tool things. Spent a bunch of unlock credit, that's expected. We now have enough unlock credit to cover the capsule and assorted bits. Really? I mean, sure. All right, so apparently we need a procedural heat shield. All right. Size. Let's get rid of the thermal blankets for now so we can see. That looks fine. All right, and let's give this a little bit. Oops. There's the heat shield. Let's give it a little bit of V-scale. Well, that's slightly terrifying. The fact that clearly the collider is not sized correctly. There. And
Sorry, I'm replying to these issues that you pointed me at, so I'm being a little quiet.
No worries. All right. There. That looks about correct. And I guess we'll V-scale it a little bit more. Still not quite right. Well, I guess we'll offset it a little bit. All right. I guess I have to sim this because I don't trust this temporary heat shield. Also, I have to fix staging probably. What the heck stage? Where the heck are these? I guess they're there. Why did they get put in that stage? That's super weird. Yeah, so this is sort of annoying that we'll actually drop the fairings early.
What is that?
Because I want to keep the fairings on up until like 90 kilometers, and instead we're going to drop them about 60. But it's fine.
You not adjust your atmospheric limits for dropping fairings in?
No. The problem is the fairing, like, these are part of the abort tower.
Right.
And I'm firing the abort tower after booster set because MechJeb is going to do it that way. Like, ideally, I want it to fire as if it were fairings.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it It's just going to get fired.
Night job doesn't say, oh, hey, I'm trying to figure out which limit for dropping my fairings. There's fairings in this stage.
I don't think so.
Thought it did that for... Okay.
Does this actually have the wrong... Yeah, the staging on this was wrong too. So good I found that out. All right. Let's go ahead and unlock some stuff. So, 13 parts, bunch of unlock credit. Early landing hasn't been unlocked yet. Cool. It's way down there. And it's another 2 months. I mean, I guess I could fly it with the Mercury heat shield. And just fly a ballistic reentry.
Or one of the generic heat shields.
No, that's what I mean. I don't have any higher tech heat shield than the Mercury heat shield. Sorry, I don't mean literally the heat shield for the Mercury capsule. I mean Mercury heat shield tech.
Yeah, okay. Well, I gotta make some compromises, I guess.
Yep. Let's see how this works. I'm scared. Okay. Let's orient retrograde. Uh, is there a reason why we can't yaw?
All your RCS turned on.
Uh, yeah, that RCS is enabled. That was very strange.
Hey, it's Beastie1. Yeah, he's just testing some stuff in his sim.
Hey. Yeah, I'm quite confused why. The RCS is super screwy on this thing. Anyway.
Is it potentially because you took fuel out of? No, that was when you were messing with FOSCAP.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't recall having this problem when I simmed this before.
I do recall you having this problem where it was misaligned, though.
Sorry, what was misaligned?
Your center of mass with your center of thrust, like you're burning small amounts of RCS as you fire.
Yeah, I'm slightly misaligned in pitch. Yeah, I need to fix that, I guess. Yeah, this thing's gonna be hell on wheels to dock if the RCS is that bad.
I'm gonna try and dock two of them together. I thought you were gonna do a target.
Oh yeah, I guess I can maneuver the target.
Beastie1 says it's the solar panels. But yeah, same issue.
Yeah. Yeah, I was betting it was because I used offset snap to get them to be aligned equivalent, but it's probable that they need to not quite be on the axis, as you say. Okay, now we can go ahead and hopefully that's a negative enough perigee.
That was derpy.
Yep. Yeah, it's because we're clipping slightly. Yeah, I have to fix that. Oh man, it induced a roll.
What's that little part the descent module ejects?
Periscope.
I guess the second one.
Hmm?
I mean, there was 2 periscopes that flew off.
Oh, okay.
But one detached when you detach the descent module from the command module, and one detached when you remove the thermal blanket.
Hmm.
It was weird.
Yeah, that is weird. That's enabled. Ah, now we can spin up. Okay. Oh, no, I know what it is. Oh, nope. No, it's because it has toggleable descent mode, so. Yeah, I bet it's the source.
Yeah, you checked the descent mode last time. It wasn't that.
Hmm?
Sorry, when I saw that you were having the same problem, I saw you checked descent mode like 2 streams ago.
Ah. All right. Here we go with a ballistic reentry. Hopefully it's fine. I have a sinking suspicion it might not be, given that we have only a little bit more surface area than Mercury, despite being rather heavier. We might just have to wait for tech. All right, let's do a barbecue roll. Okay, so the heat shield is definitely taking the brunt of it.
Yep. But it looks like you're gonna survive.
Yep.
You're not.
Getting real close to the thermal limits of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And running a little short on ablator, but we'll be okay.
Yep.
But that's sure as heck closer than I would like. Oh, are there really only 2 of them? The extra 100 kilograms might push us over the limit.
Yeah, you're down to like 5% ablator.
Yeah. Yeah, that's dicey. I'm using the Mercury config because anything higher than that needs more tech. And I didn't really want to wait for higher tech. But we did survive. So, yay us.
You could be lighter on a full mission because you went in with full consumables.
Except the consumable. Oh, yeah. No, the consumables are in the orbital module.
Yeah.
Like, there's just a tiny bit of water in this and some potassium superoxide.
Does it have solid fuel? Oh, yeah. Never mind. For the retro thrusters, yep. Yep. Hmm.
Okay. Mains out but reefed. Get rid of the heat shield. Maybe.
Let it go, or is it still pinned there?
It's still pinned there. I guess we gotta wait until the chute fully deploys to really get rid of it. Makes sense because it weighs almost nothing because no, the chart ablator is decently heavy. There's the landing burn, all 5 meters per second of it. All right, so lessons learned. It's Beastie 1. It's plausible that I could get more ablator from stretching, but I think it's purely to do with diameter.
You have to move it up to get it to stop clipping anyway. I guess you could potentially add a bigger diameter. You have some room inside the fairing. If you hang around long enough, Robbie Vitter, you'd see it in action.
There we go. There, that's clipping slightly less. Okay, if we V-scale it, let's see, we're at 1.3. Oh no, it actually does increase the ablator. That's interesting. So yes, let's totally V-scale it some more. Give it a little bit more ablator. Because, yeah, that was scary as heck. Okay. So that's fine. The only issue is what to do about... Alright, so that needs to be in stage 12. The only issue is what to do about solars.
CS build aid coming to your rescue.
Yep. Nope, that's aligned. Those are aligned. That's interesting. Can we change engines to be only... Nope. That's annoying. It's VC1, yeah, because I didn't realize that the actual Soyuz launch abort tower is in Soviet rockets, not Soviet spacecraft. And I only have Soviet spacecraft installed. Alright, really don't want to have to do this, but... claims that we're perfectly aligned. I find that hard to believe. Also, I'm going to get this back from the other thing to not have messed up the solar panels. Okay, let's try again. Okay. All right, that all looks correct. I wonder what actually is staged on the capsule. Because the engines sure aren't. I wonder if it's just the shroud thing. The what's it? Periscope. All right. This thing is workable. So let's do it. Of course. Literally everything possible is going wrong.
What happened?
It's super expensive, so.
Yeah.
Why is there... Wait. Oh, it must be from the last time I flew from that pad. All right. Let's try one more time. And the rollout cost is almost 16K, so most of our funding for the month is going to go into that. Hey, CMAV. Yeah, unlike the last few streams, no purple noodles. And annoyingly, I can't even afford to hire any more engineers. Although once the astronaut complex completes, then... let's finally remember to take a contract in time. I'll take first EVA.
Happened a couple times before.
Yeah. I'll get 100 applicants. That's nice. That's genuinely nice. All right, let's look at our budget. Our budget is negative over the course of the month. Great. Why is our budget negative? When it was positive before. That's actually kind of confusing.
Rolling out something?
Oh, no, we've passed the peak of crude orbit. That's why our budget's starting to go negative. That's bad. That's bad news.
Yep.
It's VC1. I'm looking at doing an EOR architecture, so basically a super proton. Something on the order of 900 tons, 1100 tons, something like that. Basically something Saturn C3 class. So a bit bigger than Proton, but not that much bigger. Where a single one is perfectly capable of sending something into lunar orbit, and 2 launches is probably just barely enough to do a lunar mission. I really hope I don't need more than 2 launches. Yeah, definitely using the RD-254 in UDMH locks, because I kind of don't have a choice. All right, so, oh, the admin building, that's what's eating our funding. Okay, now let's finish the astronaut complex. Okay, that does not much improve our financial situation, but like just enough. Yeah, it's VC1. I always run on alternate history spec level. CMAV, I analyzed how much more expensive it would be to suffer a lot of launch failures, and the answer is much more expensive. Like, I haven't specifically looked at NK-15s, but the NK-15s have horrifying reliability. How far away are NK-33s, actually? In here. Okay, so another material science node. I mean, I would expect NK33 configs to be pretty reliable. Like, except for that single Antares failure, I'm not aware of any other failures. NK15, 93% reliability, rises to 98.5. Ignition, well, yeah, it's not that unreasonable. NK33 reliability is lower than NK15. That seems wrong. That seems extremely wrong. I mean, that's sort of a lie because the rated burn time of 6 minutes Yeah, I'm wondering where Kirk got those numbers, because that seems a little strange. And the answer is uh, okay. Right, because the N1 flew so many engines, the uh, the actual odds are pretty good. 120 engines flown, 6 failed. Whereas the NK-33, ah, that's just an artifact of there being fewer flights. I think that's probably just, I think we should just increase the cap of that. Because that single Antares failure, the fact that there were only 17 engines flown, of which one was a failure, means that mathematically we have it set to a lower failure. That said, like, if we'd flown 120 of them, I bet you that there wouldn't have been that many more failures. But who knows? I mean, CMAV, just make the PR then, or just edit it in master. Like, I'm cool with that. Saves me the time of doing it. Like, we did something similar for one of the LR79 configs. The one where Shiver refused to fix the turbopumps on, so it had a bunch of early failures that were easily fixable that screwed with the numbers. Anyway. What am I looking at? Yeah, the cost of these are 780 and 670 versus $525. And $515. Yeah, so my guess is that the resource penalty I'm paying is not actually that severe. Especially because in UDMH locks, I'm only paying for the UDMH toxicity, not the NTO toxicity. And given the higher performance, I need less launch vehicle anyway. So I think it probably evens out. Yeah, this is bad. Starting the admin upgrade, I think, was a mistake. Because
Yeah.
I can't actually afford it.
Yeah. Well, if you can't afford it, then it was definitely a mistake.
Yeah. The idea behind it was so I could take crude lunar without having to give up one of these other two programs, but I think I'm going to have to give up uncrewed lunar surface exploration. Even though the funding is just starting to get better.
If you gotta do it, you gotta do it. So
Yep.
Still have a little while till you can finish the crude orbit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm at the next level of R&D, and it's pricey. I remember being the 500K one taking a long time.
Not capped on researchers either.
Yeah, I'm still not capped on researchers because I can't afford anymore. Yep. Let's see, where's my budget all going? Some of it is, the training cost is pretty severe. So that's some of it. Oh, that reminds me. I need to start mission training. $135 days. 92 days. Cool. Okay. Yeah, so that'll finish and then it'll start rolling out. And it'll sit on the pad for a little bit. Because we can't afford to actually do anything. And because I forgot to start the mission training by like 5 days. 6 days.
Yeah, that sucks.
Six days versus 7. Yeah, well, we'd still be off by a couple weeks. Yeah, that just went up another 5K. Oof. Okay, so I'm approaching max subsidy. All right, well. Let's get the return to duty out of the way. Not gonna lie, I'm sort of tempted to fly another Voskhod mission.
That's not the worst idea.
Get some confidence. Because I don't know where else I'm going to get confidence.
A little more rep too.
Yeah, but I don't really need much more rep.
You're not capped at 6K rep yet. I guess that's another year or so.
Oh, another year. Yeah, I'm really paying the price for piecemeal voting these folks. Although I think I may have fixed that, where it's not the number of classes, it's the number of knots in training. Let me actually check that. Nope, I didn't. Yeah, I think I should just fix that.
Yeah, that seems finicky to have players do.
Yep. Yeah, if you want to make an issue for that, then I'll remember to do it.
Yep, we'll do. 1 sec.
Yeah, trying to keep your initial crop of knots around is tough. But because I didn't hire mine until I started Vostok, they're gonna stick it out. They'll be fine. It's these folks who haven't flown yet who have the earliest retirement, but they'll be fine because they'll fly the first time and they'll be like, yeah, this is fun. All right, so I definitely need to start more Soyuz proficiency training. Which craters my budget even more. $23 days. Great. All right, so talking about wasting almost 19 days. No, 18 days. Before we do the first EVA. But, oh well. Oh right, I have to. I think you can't take rendezvous and docking at the same time. Maybe. Because I think docking requires rendezvous being complete.
You want me to check?
I'm checking. Yep, must have completed. Oh yeah, right. That's what I need to do. I need to take both of these together because I need to rendezvous with that spent stage. And then I only need one more flight. Cool. Well, much as I might wish, I think I'm going to have to fly this thing tomorrow because I'm getting pretty tired.
Yeah,
So
same.
I'm gonna call it quits there.
makes sense. All right. See you tomorrow.
Great. You as well. And thank you everyone for watching. I will catch you next time. Night.